Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. So tonight is our Friday night live experience, and we are going to be doing this album, Deep Purple, made in Japan. Well, I got lots to say about this album, and I apologize again for being late. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Problem is I get so wrapped up in the music I forget what time it is, and then I'm rushing. So I don't like to rush. So anyways, my history with Deep Purple is a little bit more complicated than most bands. I've been listening to Deep Purple off and on since about the early 80s. A song here, a song there. I never really actually owned anything. I did get a live album called Perfect Strangers Live or something. I can't remember what it is. It's back here somewhere. I just can't see it. Deep Purple, where are you? Here we are. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Just give me a sec. I'll pull it out and it'll come out. Yeah, this one I got. Actually, I don't even think I got it. Somebody got it for me. I can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. Anyways. Here we go. Now we can see something, maybe. Deep Purple, Nobody's Perfect was the name of it, and it's a live album with pretty much most of the same stuff that's on this one, but some additional stuff and some older stuff from before most of these guys were in the band. And it's pretty good, I never played it for the longest time. I knew the few songs by Deep Purple, like Hush and Smoke on the Water and maybe Highway Star. Those might have been the three I knew, and I liked them quite a bit, but for some reason I never really quite went out and bought any albums by them, or never really followed them. I got a little bit more interested when Ian Gillan joined Black Sabbath and made that album with them. That made me more curious about them, so I did often sometimes would when they would be playing Deep Purple, I would put them on headphones to listen to them. So I started getting a little bit more into them. Then probably I'm going to say in around the 2007, 2008 range, somebody bought me that album. I don't even remember who it was or why I got it or what their event was or whatever. And I started having it in the background when I was cleaning and stuff like that, because it was a live album. It's really quite good, actually, but I'm not doing that one tonight. But at any rate, sorry, my leg's bugging me again. Then I started listening to them more. Once I listened to that album, that really set me to wanting to listen to them a lot more. And then probably in around the beginning of last year, after listening to that one for the longest period of time, I decided to start collecting them, and I got in Rock and Machine Head and a few others, and was playing them quite a bit. But I always had heard this album a couple times on the radio in the 70s and 80s. They would play the whole thing. Now, no chance of that, but I always liked the album, but I never got it and then when I got it, and I got it for a good price, I was happy to get it, and I've listened to it 3 times this week, including just now, and it is like really, really good. Like, it's such a good album. I might venture to say that I actually enjoy Deep Purple more live than I do from the studio stuff. Studio stuff's not bad, but they're one of those bands, Deep Purple, The Who, Kiss, I think are better live than they are studio-wise. So anyways, we'll do a little bit of information here. This was released December the 8th, 1972. It's about 76 minutes in length. That's why it takes so long to upload it today, or to do the video today. It's on Purple label and produced by Deep Purple. And it features the classic Deep Purple group, the ones that we have all come to think of as, I think of as the best members of Purple. Blackmore, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, John Lord, Ian Pace, and all of them are excellent on this album. Okay, so you got the first song on this album, Highway Star, which is one of their best songs. Starts out with a really serious guitar solo. There's some, what was it? I don't even know what I wrote here. God, I can't even read my own. Oh yeah, okay, the guitar on this is real beefy, it's heavy, it's like off the charts, I think. And it starts out the album really well. I really think it's great tune. Okay, and then you have Child in Time, which is, I think, is probably my favorite Deep Purple song. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it probably is. And Ian Gillan's one of his best vocals on the album, just tremendous vocals here. Blackmore is his solo on this song is off the charts. I've seen this live too on a video, and he's just really good on this. It's really like, I think of it as kind of a guitar solo. It's like stuff of legends. One of the best solos I've probably ever heard in hard rock or heavy metal. Then you get Smoke on the Water, which everybody knows. It's one of the most anthemic songs out there. People said list the 10 most recognized songs in rock, and this has got to be probably in that group. It's an iconic riff too. That was actually the first riff that I ever learned on bass. And so it starts out with this iconic riff, and then the heavy bass riff comes in next, and they just like really beef up the song quite a bit. The keys are very strong on this as well, but they're also very Hammond sounding. I'm not a Hammond organ fan. John Lord is a great keyboardist, very underrated, I think, and doesn't get enough attention. But he plays the Hammond organ a lot, and I'm not a big fan of the Hammond organ. And then, of course, it ends with a guitar solo. Then it starts out on the Mule, which is the next song up. Starts out with this kind of distorted guitar riff. Pretty cool start. And then goes into Ian Pace's drum solo. Now, I never thought of Ian Pace as much of a drummer. I don't think he's a bad drummer. I've never thought he was a bad drummer. I didn't realize he was this good. He's a pretty good drummer. But, a lot of people say that about Peter Criss. They think he's lame. But, that drum solo on Kiss Alive and the drum solo on here, they're pretty good drum solos, both of them. And I think he's pretty solid on this drum solo here. Then we do Strange Kind of Woman. That's a song that I quite like a lot too. It's a very strong guitar song on this. Like, he's really good on this. The solo was like one of his best on the album. And it's very lengthy too. Like, it goes on a very long time on this particular track. And then there's this kind of play between Blackmore doing this kind of lead part, and then Ian Gillan doing something with his vocals, and they go back and forth. It's actually kind of hilarious in some ways. And then the next song up you get is Lazy, which starts out with a somewhat distorted keyboard part, and the keys are really good on this. John Lord steps up to the mic here, and he's like really good. There's a little bit of harmonica on this song. I don't remember hearing any other songs but Deep Purple with harmonica, so I kind of noticed it when I heard it. So I'm just wondering who played that. I don't see anything about it. It just lists the guys. It doesn't really list what they're playing. I think it just gives the list of... Sorry, I'm just going to try and open it so I can see what it says. So anyways, there's the back cover of the album, and then you have this little book that comes with it. Yeah, it probably says something here. Let me see if I can find it. It's got all the tracks written down, pretty solid. Oh yeah, okay, it says basically you have Gilmour lead guitar, Gillan vocals, bass for Roger Glover, organ and piano for John Lord, and then drums for Ian Pace. But it doesn't say anything about the harmonica. Whoever plays it does a pretty good job. I'm sure it's probably Ian Gillan, but I'm not 100% sure of that. So then it ends. The last song on the album is Space Truckin', which is arguably one of my favorites, if not my favorite song by them. Really catchy riff. Riff is awesome here. Ian Gillan is like fantastic. His voice is like, how he reaches those heights, I don't get, man. Like, it's just amazing. And then of course it's a lengthy guitar bit and a lengthy keyboard bit, and and you know, the song's like 20 minutes. I think on the album it's like maybe 6. So 20 minutes of just keyboard soloing. It's fantastic, right? So if you like Deep Purple but you haven't got this album, you got to get this album. It's a must if you like live music, and it's a must if you like Deep Purple. To me, this is probably going to end up being the best Deep Purple. Now, I do like that Nobody's Perfect album quite a bit too. I'll probably do a video on that someday too, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I wanted to do this one. I got it. I think this is really Deep Purple at its best here. If you like hard rockin', beefy guitar, lots of soloing guitar, lots of beefy Hammond keyboarding all over the album, and some really good solid drumming. Even Roger Glover, who is kind of a little bit in the background here, he's like an awesome bassing on this as well too. So just a fantastic album. I highly recommend it. I think if you're looking for add live albums to your collection, this has got to be, of all the live albums I heard, this has got to be in the top 5. I think for sure it's in the top 5. So there you have it. There it is. Deep Purple, Made in Japan live, for the Friday Night Live experience. Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And I apologize again if this comes out a bit late. It's a really long album, and I was enjoying it so much I lost track of time. So anyways, have a good evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.